Thank you, Michelle. Good evening, everyone in the room. Today, we thought we'll talk a little bit about minerals because it's not very often you get information on minerals. Today, we're going to have a quick overview of the whole topic of minerals and why it's important. This particular area is very large, and I'm going to do literally a hop, step, and jump over the topic. But after you listen to this carefully, you will find that any article that you read, any information that you come across with regards to minerals, you can actually place them in the right order and you can accumulate information. This is just a picture of the space actually, with a lot of planets, and in fact literally whole galaxies are around the depicted here. Now if you look into space, you will find that there are three factors that we need to know there. One is time, the other is the space, and the third is the matter that is contained in that space. Today we are going to focus a little on the matter. What is it made of? The basic element that is present in the sun is an atom called hydrogen. Now, this radioactive explosions that go on is the starting point for all the planets that go around the sun. Apparently, bits and pieces came out of the sun and they started circulating around the sun, and they cooled down, and we have the different planets, for example, in our own planetary system. Now, when that cooled, this original atom of hydrogen is the basic building block of all the matter that we see. If you notice here, hydrogen has got one nucleus and something that is circulating around there. Now, because of the charge, electrical charge, the center point is, or the nucleus is positive. We call it proton, and the one that is negatively charged is electron. So there is an attraction, and that is why this keeps going around it. This is an atom which cannot be seen with the eye or even the microscope. Only a very, very powerful microscope can detect even atoms. Okay. Now, if the number of particles in the center increases, then there has to be an increase in the number of particles in the periphery. And as we go on increasing, we get different elements, different substances. For example, if you add another 16 or so here, another 16 negatively charged particle, you get another element like iron, 32 for calcium, 236 for uranium. So it goes on and on. But the basic pattern or plan is the hydrogen. Now, what do we call these substances? These substances are called elements. Okay, hydrogen is an element. Oxygen is an element. What do we mean by element? An element means you cannot divide it into further substances. Like, for example, water can be broken down to hydrogen and oxygen. Anything that cannot be broken down further into simpler substances is called an element. So a hydrogen is element. How many of these basic substances do we have in our physical world? So if you look into the elements in nature, you will find that there are 92 elements. The periodic table lists all the elements that are present currently known on Earth. Now they list 118 elements. Nature's elements basic are 92. The ones that we have listed are 118. The difference is all man-made. However, these man-made elements are not stable. They quickly degenerate into the basic, one of the basic 92, or turn into other elements which are considered to be also man-made. At the end of the day, those extra man-made elements do not last like the 92 basic elements, and this basic 92 go towards forming all that we see: trees, plants, rocks, rivers, all that we see in nature. So of the 92, 13 have no beneficial role in human beings, which means there are about 79, because 4 of them are building blocks of life. Okay, after that, the next 75 are what is called minerals. How do they get into the body? Now, this basic elements, which includes the 75 minerals, exists in the sea, earth, rocks, and soil, or rather in nature. Now, these minerals are picked up by microorganisms. This may be bacteria, this may be single cell plants like plankton, chlorella, and so on in the sea, in water. They pick these minerals and incorporate them into their cell. Now that is further picked up by plants, because plants utilize microorganisms also. Now those plants are eaten by animals, and you can see the chain how it comes about. At the end of it, we consume animals and plants, and that's how we get the minerals. Something happens in the process which makes the minerals usable by the human body. From the first step that we have here, the minerals are what is called inorganic. By the time they go through the microorganisms, they become organic, and that is what we can utilize. We cannot utilize inorganic minerals. For example, we don't eat iron nails so that we get iron, because iron nails would be inorganic. The body cannot use iron in that form. It must be coupled with something that the plant puts it on, and then it occurs in a package which the body can use. That is what is called organic. So from inorganic to organic, the molecule is actually bigger, but then the body can use it only in that form. Now, why are minerals so important? What exactly do they do in the human body? In an average human being, every cell has 10,000 chemical reactions taking place in a 24-hour period. So there's a lot of biochemical reactions going on. Now, all this is mediated by enzymes and minerals. So the function of minerals are threefold. Okay, first, one of the ingredients to maintain the structure are the minerals. For example, the skeletal structure, you need enough calcium. Now, calcium is an overemphasized mineral in the skeletal structure. The main component in the skeletal structure is actually protein. However, the minerals help to strengthen that structure. So minerals go into structural materials. For example, not just the bones, but even the organs. Every organ has a particular shape. Now, there must be enough calcium to give that superstructure. Now, the next thing is we have something like 1 billion nerve cells. Now, these nerve cells conduct electricity, and that's how we get electrical impulses going to all parts of the body. That is absolutely needed, not only because of sensation, but also working of all the organs. Okay, so electrical impulses in the body can function efficiently, or at times can only function in the presence of minerals, which includes calcium, magnesium, which are the two main minerals involved in this. The human body is estimated to have something like about 50,000 different enzymes. They all contribute towards the 10,000 plus biochemical reaction taking place in every cell. Now, if you want that reaction to take place in an efficient way, you must have helping factors in that. Factors that make that enzyme reaction more efficient are called catalysts. So these catalysts are important in the biochemical reaction. Now these catalysts are almost exclusively minerals. Let us go back to the minerals that we were talking about. Now we were looking at 75 minerals. So far, scientists who are studying these minerals, and it's not easy to study this because some of them come in very small doses. You need the equipment to be able to um, detect them. However, scientists have proven, or at least have reason to believe, that 35 minerals are known to provide beneficial action for the human body. It is definitely beneficial. Now, the others are still being investigated and they have information on and off. Now, while this study is ongoing, they have found that 5 of the minerals are quite toxic for the human body. This is listed here. Now, you get quite a lot of mercury from your amalgam fillings in your tooth. That is a main source for those who have filling in their teeth. Cadmium, quite a lot from cigarette smoke. The lead main supply is from the smoke or the smog in traffic. Aluminium is much less now. We used to use a lot of aluminium pots and pans. Now arsenic is not easily available unless somebody feeds you with organic arsenic to poison you. You might not get this supply, but it's good to know that these are the 5 toxic minerals. So we are looking at 75 minerals. 35 have beneficial effects. 5 we don't need them, and the other 40 are being investigated. So from 75 now it drops down to 70 minerals, you can say. Let's move on to see further information on the minerals. You hear the word major minerals, trace minerals. Where do you draw the line? What is a major mineral? What is a trace mineral? Now, it has been agreed that among scientific circles that whenever a requirement for the human body exceeds 100 milligrams per day, then that is considered a major mineral or element that is needed by the body. Now, anything less than 100 milligrams will be trace minerals. Anyway, this is the basic classification. And because of difficult nature of putting all this together, you do not get many mineral products in the market. When you do get them, you will find they have only the major minerals. Now, animals eat all kinds of vegetables, and so do we. So what happens is we tend to accumulate a higher concentration of minerals because our food has a variety of vegetables. Most animals eat a fixed diet. For example, the cows eat grass and so on, but they eat a variety of grass and other fodder, and therefore they have the variety of minerals that they contain in their meat will be more than vegetables. Plants can synthesize quite a lot of stuff that is needed for nutrition, whether it be vitamins, fats, carbohydrates, aromatic oils, essential fatty acids, and all that. But they cannot synthesize minerals. Neither can animals, neither can human beings. So the minerals has to come from the soil. From the soil through the vegetables or fruits that we eat, and from there via the animals that we eat, or straight from vegetables. So what happens is, if you plant your vegetable or fruits in an area where the soil has been depleted of minerals, then no matter what you do to the plant, that plant will not have all the minerals in the right concentrations that we need. Now, modern day farming methods are such that it depletes soil minerals. How? For example, we plant a particular vegetable in one soil. We need to sell that to make our living. So we grow the same vegetable again and again in the same soil. Every vegetable will take away certain minerals from the soil. So after 2 or 3 rounds, that soil on which the vegetable grows will have much less of the minerals that is taken up by the plant. Now, to counter effect that, what we do is we put in fertilizers. The fertilizers have some stuff, but not all the minerals. The stuff that is put into fertilizers are such that it will make the vegetable or the fruit appear larger, more brighter, and so on. But the taste is not there. Many of the degenerative diseases, one of the major contribution is a lack of minerals in the diet. What can we do about it? Well, there are methods, but quite difficult to enforce. One would be to consume vegetables grown on virgin soil. To be able to do that, you have to live near a very rural area or literally live in the kampong where there's a lot of land. Virgin soil simply means not much farming has been done on the soil, so the soil is rich in minerals. The second thing would be to make sure that you have a variety of meat from animals. Animals have more concentration of minerals, and they find that it is the wild animals that have more concentration of minerals. So, what can we do? Can we do something about this? The only way to do that would be to get mineral supplements, something to supplement your diet. Okay, a product that will have all the minerals, especially the trace minerals, because the numbers are large, to supplement your diet. Now, this is a tricky business. There aren't very many trace mineral products in the market because when you put minerals together, you might exceed certain minerals. You see, all minerals are good, but anything that more of the same thing does not necessarily mean good. For example, iron. If you take the adequate amounts of iron in your diet, that's good. When you take too much of iron, they find you increase free radical activity in the body. Some of the iron can be deposited in certain organs and cause problems, not to mention the gastric irritation you can get from eating iron. When you put a supplement together, you cannot exceed the balance that exists in nature. Now, that means you got to extract these minerals straight from vegetable sources. If you look at uh, the time of dinosaurs, and I've got a picture here. Now, when we look at dinosaurs, we normally think that they're all flesh eating animals. 98% of all dinosaurs were actually vegetarians. Now, the one shown here um, is not a vegetarian, but the big ones also. And if you look at the vegetation that grew around that time, this was during the time of the young earth, where there had been a lot of volcanic activity, a lot of minerals have been thrown out to the surface of the world, the soil, and the plants grew very tall, very lush. The mineral content was very high. Okay, so if we get access to this vegetation, that would be a good source. So there are several companies that are involved in extracting this. They take out these minerals in liquid form, and of course they sell it to different nutritional companies to incorporate it into their product. Okay, now at this stage I'd like to introduce what we market. Vemma has a product which has not just vitamins. For example, Vemma here, this particular product has vitamins, antioxidants to support the 60 over minerals that are also incorporated into this product. These minerals are also incorporated into this product, into worth, and also body here. So I would urge you to have a look at this product. In addition to that, the antioxidants are extracts of green tea, aloe vera, and mangosteen to make sure that you get not only your antioxidants but also help in the absorption of the minerals. I'd like to stop here, and this is a very broad topic, and I'm sure you have questions to ask. I'll hand it over to Michelle